firing his lawyers? Has that guy Castillo, who's been being interviewed, who was an inmate with Diddy, he just showed that nobody tried to unalive Diddy in prison. So what's the truth, folks? What's really going on? Let's talk about it. You want to talk about Haitian Jack and Ricky? All right, let's talk about him. Let's begin with this guy Castillo, who has been on all these shows, who's on the Lauren Conlon show. And, I got to apologize to Lauren because I spoke too soon. She did do her thorough checking out on Castillo before she had him on the show. So I apologize to Lauren for speaking too soon, but we corrected it. I texted her and let her know. All right. See, my friend from New York was in MDC in a unit with that Costello, and supposedly Costello was a confidential informant. So he got transferred to the unit that Diddy is in. You got to remember, Diddy's in a unit with only 20 other inmates, a few high-profile inmates, and from what my contacts tell me, the rest are rats or confidential informants. So that's how he got to know Diddy. But the one thing that came out is that never happened. Nobody ever went with a shank during the middle of the night to him. So, folks, I wasn't there. All right, I'm just reporting what I'm hearing. Okay. And that guy Costello, he just got out of prison October 23rd. All right? Today's the 29th. 6 days ago, and here he is doing podcasts already. So what's he out after for? Folks, I'm getting tired. Are you? I mean, who wants to Diddy? We just get so tired of him. All right? Shay the Mighty. The Rat is back with us, folks. Shay the Righty. Me to nap now. You're going to nap now too, Shay? Shay? Hello, Anthony. Life advice. Well, folks, in my book, The Accidental Gangster, if you read it, there's a lot of life advice in there. And I talk about it all the time. Okay? Every day, we have hurdles put in front of us. And those who are successful are the ones that get over those hurdles. Those hurdles are put there so you could become stronger. Yeah. Somebody wrote me on, and I hope he's here, okay? Ask me about Haitian Jack. Let me tell you how I met Haitian Jack, okay? I said it before in many interviews. I met Haitian Jack through my dear, dear friend, Danny Sims. Who is Danny Sims? Danny Sims was the guy that discovered Bob Marley and owned his publishing for a long time, and he's the one that got him over to Island Records. Danny had Johnny Nash before that, and a lot of artists after that there. Danny was just an awesome guy, well known in the music business. And Then he came back from London. He stopped in New York. He met with Wyclef John. He was trying to do something, him and Wyclef were trying to do something together. And that's where he met Haitian Jack. And Haitian Jack had like a little problem going on there. Had to get out of New York, I guess. And Danny brought him out here with me, and they ended up at my door. And Jack needed a place to stay, so I let him stay. I liked Jack. Jack was a good guy. He was charismatic, all right? He was a mover and shaker, no question. I don't believe a lot of the things that he is given credit for that supposedly he done, okay? But he ended up staying on my couch, and, what turned out to be for a short time ended up becoming a year until he made a score, and then he got an apartment up on the fourth floor of the building that I lived in there. He was also what was I going to say? John was a mover and shaker, and I introduced him to a lot of the guys and the Crips and the Bloods out here in Los Angeles. No, Gio, I'm not too old, Gio. All right? And for you to ask that question, are you too old to be here? All right? So, comments sometimes just astound me. Okay? I met a gentleman through Jack named Ricky Lee. Ricky Lee was a Jamaican boy. He was a hustler too. All right? And he sold a lot of marijuana and cocaine. All right? He shipped it to North Carolina. That's where he sold it. All right? And we'll get to Ricky Lee. Ricky Lee took care of me. I got to say that. All right? And I was godfather to his daughter when she was born. All right? No, I had no computer when I was a teen. That's back when the days were good. No computers, no phones. That's when people actually communicated with each other and talked with each other. A lot of you don't ever experience that. And it's pathetic, okay? Because communication is extremely important. But anyway, so Jack went out. I told you he made that score, came back, and Ricky was talking to him in the front, and I always had a street apartment, okay? So I was able to hear everything going on. And Ricky said, "You're going to go take care of the old man, aren't you?" And Jack said, "Fuck no." And I heard that. So I told Jack, "Bring the fucking keys back to my son's car, and I want you out of this building by tomorrow." And next morning when I woke up, there was a U-Haul, and Jack was packing, and he moved out of here. That's the story with Jack, okay? I heard nothing more. I know he did different events at a local restaurant here, okay? And, Tupac was correct when he called Jack a snitch. You all know the song, you heard it, okay? Hi, Avery, thank you. We got a lot of trolls. That's the only thing about YouTube is YouTube allows trolls, okay? Because they allow people to come in here with anonymous or change their name, all right, of who they really are. okay? But anyways, Ricky Lee became a snitch too, down in North Carolina, and he proffered against me. Yeah, I got the proffer agreement. It's right with all my prison records, okay? He proffered against me, told the FBI and U.S. Attorney that I was the boss of Los Angeles. Whenever I needed people, all I had to do was pick up the phone, call New York, and people came out here. Ricky did me some of them. You know, it's really a shame of what he did because I was the one that was helping him with lawyers and everything else right up until the day that he became a rat. And then I cut ties with him. There is a detective or former detective out of New York. Courtney is his name. He likes to talk about me, okay? And he's all over YouTube also. All right? Nothing nice to say about me, okay? And the first time his name appeared to me was while I was in prison, something was written about Haitian Jack, and I was mentioned in there. And they were talking about how I was dealing marijuana in New York, and they had me selling other drugs and all this here, which I only was selling marijuana, okay? And this Courtney wrote that Jack met a mobster by the name of Spado, and they wrote about an incident in New York, but they had the nationalities of the people wrong. They had the location in New York wrong. You got to remember something, folks. When I was doing things, I wasn't telling Jack what the fuck I was doing. What, do you think I'm crazy? I don't tell anybody what I'm doing, when I'm going to do it. Okay? Nobody. And one person that met me every time I was in New York was Jimmy Henchman. And Jimmy Henchman knows what I was doing. He knows where I stayed. He knows the area. And he happened to be at my hotel the day that the guy from Spanish Harlem and I were having a meeting in my hotel. And at the same time, there were some Mexicans, all right, who delivered 3,500 pounds to New York and waiting for their money, okay? And the stuff was not worth what they wanted. I ended up talking to the cartel leader down in Mexico. I'll leave that story for another time. But my son sent me that. I go, what the freak? I'm reading this article. It was all bullshit. None of it was true. That this Courtney, a detective that wants to be a writer or something, okay? But he doesn't know how to get his true facts, and he's in love with Jack. Yeah, maybe they got something going on the side. I don't know, okay? But he's really in love with Jack. So while I was in prison in Lompoc, Romy, real name Horatio Hamilton, who was a big marijuana dealer, who we knew here in Los Angeles, happened to be in the same unit, got transferred to where I was. And I met him, and he was in my same unit as me. And he was a Jamaican boy, and he was talking. Jack got deported, okay, back to Haiti, and from there, he moved to the Dominican Republic. And hey, folks, by the way, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do. Okay, I would deeply appreciate it. Help me in any way you could. There's a lot of buttons down there. Hit that like button, okay? Keep hitting that like button, okay, all of you folks. All right, because believe it or not, somehow, some way, it helps me here on YouTube. I haven't figured it out because I make very little money on YouTube, okay? Uh, so, there's a thanks button. You want to hit that there. Some of you do sometime. Okay? But, folks, please subscribe, like, and share. Okay? So, anyways, Romy had Jack and Ricky on his list, and he was talking to him. And he put me on a phone. I wanted to talk to Jack about that freaking article. And Jack said, "Oh, it wasn't me, it was Jimmy Henchman." Well, damn it, I knew it wasn't Jimmy Henchman, okay? I knew for sure. Because Jimmy and I met every time we were in New York, and when he was in Los Angeles, we always had lunch. We always met together, all right? Jimmy was a great guy. I liked Jimmy very much, all right? Jimmy was the real guy, okay? So I wanted to share that little bit of information. Ricky, he ended up getting caught dealing. He got deported. He's back there in Jamaica. So that's about that. All right, so somebody asked me, wanted me to talk a little bit about it, and I did that there. Okay? So that's about it, folks. I just wanted to come on here for a few minutes today and share that little bit of information with you. All right? Remember, folks, as I always say, you see, I'm in relaxing today in my chair. Okay? The upper piece, he's a mob boss. Well, that's what they said. U.S. Attorney and the FBI, they say a lot of things. Can you believe them? Who knows? Okay? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. All right, everybody, okay? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. All right? No, I'm not Sicilian, I'm Calabrese. All right, from Calabria, right across from Sicily. All right? So, hey, look at everybody. Have a great day. As usual, all my love and respect to you all. Remember, do something kind for somebody, it'll come back to you tenfold. I guarantee that there. All right? Okay? I thank you, Wingfoot. Thank you very much. All right? I appreciate you all. God bless you. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.